Hello all, some more tools for woodworkers from Banggood. I wasn't going to do another, but I think this bunch of clamps, hammers and stops are pretty good value, versatile and interesting enough to warrant a vid. Jump points and links for the items shown will be in the description. Comment below with any questions or share user experience if you've used any of the items here. Let's start with these linear clamps which, if you use an MFT or bench with 20mm dog holes, are a great addition. Now let's not beat around the bush, these are a replica of the Festool mft-sp clamps, but here's the thing, at around £31 for the pair, they're less than half the price of the Festool branded clamps. You get 2 clamps, 2 stops and 4 knobs for tightening each piece down, all of which comes in a box with cut foam. The locator, or dog, part of each clamp and stop is a smidge over 19mm. Not quite enough to be a perfectly snug fit in a 20mm hole like a standard dog, but then these, like the Festool ones, are designed to be tightened down with the knobs provided, so the little bit of waggle in the hole is not really an issue. Now with these, the knob is actually a female, and you have a piece of threaded bar you can either insert into the clamps or stops, or have in the knobs. To stow away in the box they come in, the threaded bar is best left in the knobs, but in use, I prefer the bar to be attached to the clamps. I just find it works better that way, and I may use some Loctite or something to keep them there. These stops and clamps can be used to secure all manner of shapes to the bench, discs, square, and anything in between. To demonstrate why they need to be tightened down, here I have the stops tightened down with the knob under the bench, but the clamps are loose. Move the clamps into position and lock them down. If we move in for a closer look, you can see that the clamps have lifted the workpiece slightly when tightened. If we try that again with the clamps tightened down, then zoom in for a close-up, as you can see there's no lifting of the workpiece. To demonstrate how well these things grip, I'll stand a piece of 18mm ply on edge. With everything locked down, as you can see, they really don't want to let go, adding some serious extra functionality to the bench. Below, you can see the star knobs doing the biz. I haven't had them long enough to speak on their longevity, but such a simple design, it's hard to see them going wrong beyond repair. Highly recommended these. These couple of beauties are large F-type ratchet or lever clamps. Compared to the size of lever clamp for guardrails and MFTs most of us are familiar with, these ones are beast. One of these was kindly sent to me by Banggood to review for you folks, but upon receiving it, thought I'd buy another one myself, as it was not only good, but, as you'll know, only one of a particular type of clamp is of limited use. They're well built, feel sturdy in hand, and the ratchet mechanism is very positive. The only plastic part is the release button cover. Under it are all metal parts that engage the ratchet. The jaws open to 200mm and are 100mm deep. The ratchet steps are, compared to what I'm used to, quite large, so it's wise to be mindful to ratchet tight and not go the extra step or two and crush whatever it is you're clamping. A couple of clicks is all it takes for good pressure, really. A great thing about a lever clamp of this size is its speed. It's just incredibly easy to whip into place and hold whatever fast. Certainly a lot quicker than my trusty old G clamps, which always seem to take an age to wind in and out. Another useful feature of these clamps is that the foot end is quite low profile compared to almost all my other clamp types. In a scenario where you're using a corner clamping square, a bulky clamp foot can be problematic. Not a problem with these ratchet clamps. On Banggood, these lever clamps are £28 each, and I haven't found a similar size or quality lever clamp that cheap anywhere else, so I'd say they're a pretty good buy. Not entirely sure what you call these clamps. They're more of a clamp addition, which Banggood call an edge clamp. I've actually had these for about 6 months, and they're great for adding an extra clamping force direction when you're, say, gluing a drawer bottom to its carcass. It has a rubber cover for the foot, but it comes off really easily, so I may epoxy this in place to cut down on the amount of coins going into my swear box. All business ends of the clamp are metal, but with plastic handles, rubber overmoulded in the case of the main handle. So you have a simple little clamp that you fix to the bar of your main clamp. You then just screw down the foot to apply pressure to your workpiece. Obviously you could use several on a longer bar or large pieces of work and use them to push down on a timber or something to apply load more evenly across the surface. I think the maximum thickness of bar you can attach them to is around 10 to 12 millimeters, which should be fine for most types of clamp. Got to be a very useful addition to any clamp collection. So how do you review a hammer? If it bangs, it's good, right? Anyway, this couple I have here, I bought to add to my collection for joinery assembly. One is in the carver's mallet orientation, the other a more standard T. They're actually sold as leatherworking mallets on Banggood and have wooden handles, nice enough if a bit rough, and a solid nylon head. What really struck me about these was there's a nut at the end of the handle which makes them dismantleable. To a restless mind like mine, this offers potential for crafting other heads for these hammers turned from wood or a softer rubber, making them really versatile. I should note that the nylon head that comes with them is quite hard. Dismantled, you can see the through bolt, solid aluminium fixing plates and the handle. As you can see from the heads, if you have the ability to turn and a large Forstner bit, making and fixing a variety of heads wouldn't be a problem. When I get round to this myself, I'll be sure to show you on this channel. So great looking hammers with potential and around a tenner each. Lastly, a couple of basic but useful rule stops. Both are made of aluminium with a kind of brass coloured anodizing. This first one is about as basic a rule stop as you can get, with a screw either side for tightening down. It has a couple of machined interlocking turrets, so there's no waggle when loose. There's no way of squaring this simple stop without using a square when setting, of course, but I tend to just line it up with the measurement line, and that so far has worked out just fine really. The next stop, which I think is Drillpo branded in Chinese, is a bit more tricksy. It can be used to mark lines at 45 and 90 degrees depending which end you use. It's self-squaring to the rule, as when tightened down, the rule is clamped against a machined square edge. I found the results nice and accurate against a clean edge, and I don't know about you, but when I'm building I tend to have a few combi squares and rule stops on the go so I don't have to keep resetting tools. These little stops are great for that. Without the rule, the basic stop is around £5 and the 45 and 90 degree stop is around £10. Both are available to buy with the rule included for a couple of quid more per piece. As always, hope this has thrown some interesting ideas your way, and as I said at the start, links will be in the description. Thanks for watching.